Hello, I'm Dave, co-founder of Social Shifters. This is the Social Shifters podcast. In this podcast, I'll be speaking to incredible young people from all over the world, leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs, all tackling social and environmental issues that matter to them most. Listen in to hear top tips from some of the most incredible young minds on the planet. Hello, Dipisha. Many thanks for joining me on the Social Shifters podcast, where we speak to some of the most interesting and innovative young minds on the planet who are doing incredible things with projects and businesses all tackling social and environmental issues. Your Project Sparsa, based in Nepal, is one of our winning projects from the Global Innovation Challenge Health Equity Award category. And yeah, just really delighted that you're able to join me today. Congratulations on your win. How does it feel to have come through the process and done your pitching and come out as a winner?
Yeah, thanks a lot, David, first of all, for this invitation. And I'm really happy to be here and be one of the winners of the award. So, yeah, I think it feels very great to be one of the winners and also go through all the processes from submitting the application to pitching. I think the most learning point was the pitching, which was like quite a great experience for us. And we learned a lot, especially from the course that was provided by Social Shifter, like our coach Christine. She helped a lot, and we learned a lot throughout the process. So it was quite interesting because I had never learned how to pitch the entire project that we have been doing for 3 years in 3 minutes. So it was quite challenging and also rewarding, to be one of the winners. So yeah, thanks a lot for all the jobs you do through Social Shifter, and we are very happy.
Well, thank you, Dipisha. Look, it's really all down to you and your project team who put in the hard work and your incredible innovation. So, yeah, please tell us about Project Sparsa and maybe give us a bit of the context to the idea and the why it's so important.
Yeah, so Sparsa is a social enterprise in Nepal right now. So I am currently working as a chairwoman of that, but I have a whole team behind me, like working from different countries. We have more than people from more than 5 countries right now working on it. So yeah, it's a huge team, and thanks to the support that we are here where we are right now. And yeah, Sparsa is basically like a social enterprise which is working to produce and manufacture biodegradable sanitary pads made out of banana fiber. So in Nepal, after harvesting the banana fruit, farmers are usually cutting down the banana trees. So for them, it's a huge effort to manage the waste. So and also it is quite heavy for them and very difficult to manage. So that waste, like we are using that waste to turn it into our raw material and extracting fiber out of it. So we found out through our research that banana fiber have a really good absorbency qualities. So yeah, we are that is our main raw material, and beside that we are using bioplastic made out of cornstarch and non-woven cotton. So this is basically what we do, and we are also from 3 years focusing and working on menstrual hygiene management. So we are promoting it by educating people around Nepal and educating them on menstrual health and menstrual health management. So it's basically what we have been doing, and we have been able to educate more than 8,000 people until now from different parts of Nepal. And we are also very much working on research to understand the real situation regarding menstruation in Nepal. So the whole concept of Sparsa comes from the social condition that we have right now in Nepal, where menstruating individuals have to follow some kind of rules and regulation when they are on their period. So in most of the communities in Nepal, we are how to say, like, we are obligated to follow a certain set of rules where we are not allowed to go into kitchens or like religious places and sleep in the same bed when we are on our period. So, and we are also quite like limited, have limited access to social places or public places in general, because when we because of our period, like our biology. And not only that, and a lot of students, when they have their first period, they are dropping out in a massive percent. So it comes through that. And in far western region of Nepal, we even have a tradition called chaupadi, where when somebody is on their period, they have to go out far away from their home and live in a small hut or a small cow shade area, which is mainly made for women to sleep during their period. So like for 4 days, they are not allowed to go into their house or have like certain kind of food and all of this. And this is a straight out of like violation of human rights, because you are basically denied all the rights when you are on your period. And the question why is just because of our biology. And so there are a lot of taboos around it. So yeah, the main inspiration why we are doing this project is because of that. So and also in Nepal, more than 85% of women are not having access to menstrual products. So they are mainly using old clothes or rags, or in some cases even leaves. So the condition is very critical, and we thought like we need to bring some solution that would be easily accessible and affordable, but also very healthy for the environment. So that's why we are doing this. And
Wow.
right now,
So that
yeah.
sounds, Dipisha, like you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's a cultural and societal attitude there that to some people listening would be, yeah, quite alien, or
Mm-hmm.
and would come as a surprise. I think that there is that attitude towards menstruation, and I'm guessing that that cultural or societal attitude, you know, cascades or permeates down to education, or lack of education, and also to the products that are or are not available to women, by the sounds of things. I guess just for a little more context, where
Mm-hmm.
does that cultural attitude come from? Is that related to kind of traditionalism, to a particular religious sort of outlook? Why does that still? Why is that attitude still kind of prevalent in Nepal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think as you said, it's mainly because of education and how our society has been for a long period of time. Like it's mainly patriarchal, where women are considered mainly like second level or like third level of like citizens, where we were for centuries denied basic rights. So so I think there are a lot of aspect to it, but I would say mainly because of lack of education. For a long time, women were denied basic rights to education as well. So they wouldn't go to schools, like they were not allowed to go to schools for a long time. So if you don't go to schools, then you don't learn about like why it happens. And even if we go to schools, like in my case as well, when I was studying, I was never taught about menstruation. The subject was there in our curriculum, in our books, but the teacher always avoided it because like of the social taboo that menstruation is something very dirty and that we women should feel ashamed of. So our teacher was not comfortable talking about it, so she avoided it. And then we had to learn by ourselves, and a lot of children, they don't, like they don't learn at home. So yeah, thankfully when I was in high school, I finally learned what is menstruation actually is. So for a lot of people around me, it's not the case. So when I was doing research in 2021 and 22, I asked a lot of women what their idea about period is, and a lot of them thought that menstruation is something that through which dirty blood, unnecessary blood is going out of their body. So like if they think that it's something dirty, polluting, then then the whole process becomes very how do you say, dark kind of thing.
Mm.
So yeah, that's, I think it's mainly of education. That's why with Sparsa we are trying to like educate as many people as possible with our capacity that we have currently. So it's very important, I think. And yeah, and also also religion plays a huge role in it, because like it also depends on which religion you belong to. So I think mainly in Hinduism, like the Hinduism and Buddhism, they are like social tab a lot of social taboos regarding period. And it's, I think most of the menstruators from Hindus who are following Hinduism, they have very strict rules on that. So it depends like how your religion views different genders as well. So yeah, I think it plays a huge role, but as I said, at last, I would say it's mostly of education, because if people are really educated and they are understanding why it happens, and then they would see that, yeah, it's something very natural and it's a part of human life, then yeah, they would understand it. But yeah, for like a long period of time, there was no education on that, and now a lot of institutions are, yeah, are empowering this education on people. And yeah, I think it is changing, but as I said, it will take a long time. Yeah,
Yeah, thanks,
I
Dipisha.
hope I gave you an answer for that.
Yeah, you did, and I think that's really helpful context for people listening to understand, yeah, the kind of the conditions you're operating in, and the need for what you're doing. So let's get into that. So what I mean, you decided that this was an important issue to you and to many women like you, and you wanted to tackle it. What inspired you in the first place to go ahead and do something about this?
Yeah, like in 2018, I had started my journey of being an advocate. So I was already like encouraging people to talk about it, and like going around and teaching people about menstruation and all of this. It just came out as a small project that I had to do at that time. And then, so it was just the beginning of my activism. And then, yeah, during the time of earthquake, I was provided support for my education by a German Nepali organization named Nidizi. So yeah, I had always been in contact with them since then. And then in 2019, I was given an opportunity to volunteer in one of their project called Water Project. And after coming back from there, I heard that there was like a new project. There is a possibility of having a new project there. So then, yeah, the new project was like the Sparsa project at that time. So we didn't have a name at that time, but then there was few people who were interested into it. So I was also asked if I would like to initiate it. So I said, yeah, of course, it matches with what I was advocating at that time, menstrual equity. And then there were like the lead engineer Florian and Justine, Antonia. So all of them from different countries. And yeah, and then I started also putting my advocacy there and all my experiences of working in different organizations. So that's sort of like how we started. Like it didn't, yeah, yeah, of course, it started like also with the inspiration that we need to change the situation of women in Nepal. But I think, yeah, first of all, with Nidiji, we always had this motivation that we need to do something in Nepal for the Nepali people. So, yeah, and we had the freedom there to give our ideas and approach them. Like, so it started with Nidiji, and then now so Sparsa is itself a social enterprise. So yeah, and our goal is to have Sparsa as an independent social enterprise completely run by Nepali people. And this is sort of development that Nidiji wants to do through its social business approach. So yeah, I think yeah, it was a coincidence that it matched the situation at that time, that I was already in the sector and there was this possibility of having this project. So yeah, we combined it, and now I'm here, like, yeah, running this project for like past 2 years.
And now you're here. Yeah, brilliant. It's good sometimes to hear everyone's path. into organizations and projects like this is very different. So it's great to hear yours. And so with the product, we're talking about a women's menstruation product. It is, correct me if I'm wrong, made from banana peel.
Yeah, banana fiber. Yeah,
Banana fiber.
trunk.
Made from waste product, essentially, stuff that would normally be thrown away within agriculture, I imagine, and it makes for an absorbent, biodegradable material, I think, is the way you've described it. And the way that you do this is interesting. You've set this up, Sparsa up as a social enterprise, and you're employing women, presumably locally in Nepal and surrounding areas that come from a background of poverty. Is that right? And how does that all work? Can you explain that to us?
So yeah, for Sparsa, we had like a lot of possibility. Like we could even go to farms that were run by businesses in like very accessible places. But we decided that we would like to support farmers on the ground who are really in need of it. So we did a lot of research and found a village near to the Indian border. Like it's a very beautiful village, and the people there are mainly dependent on agriculture, and also and on that as well, also like mainly banana. So yeah, and the woman there, like the place, yeah, it's very beautiful, but it's also, yeah, it has this for women that like the women in that area, they don't have that much of an easy life, to say that they are bound with a lot of social structure, hierarchies, all of this. So most of the women there are living in poverty, mainly because of financial issues and also lack of job opportunities. So Sporsa, we we always knew that Sparsa is going to be a feminist project, and we would always like be empowering women who are in need of it. So now we are all already women-led organization. So most of our board members, including me, are female. So it's a huge deal in Nepal. And then now we are also looking to hire like a manager for our organization, which will also be a woman. So that has always been the heart of Sparsa, to empower more women in Nepal. And there, like as I said, the in the village, like women are denied like a lot of rights. Like it's even worse there compared to where I come from. So I always, when I went there, did research, it was sure that we would hire them, and it breaks my heart to realize that sometimes they are like during the season of agriculture, when there are a lot of harvests, the women are or even men are working there with a basic salary of like €2 per day. Like, it's very less, and they have to feed their whole family 2 times or 3 times a day, and it's just not enough. So we would like to empower them, and I think like if they have some sort of financial empowerment, then they can also raise their voice against the violence or any sort of violation of their rights that they have. And yeah, this has been always my yeah, how do you say, that I have always wanted to do that, and I'm glad that now with Spurs it's coming into reality. And regarding the banana waste, so yeah, last week I was in the project side, and right now in Nepal we have one of the poor air quality index, and it's mostly because of the agricultural fire that farmers are doing at this time. So they are preparing for yeah, cultivating new crops. And I went to the field and saw how many banana trunks they were burning at this moment. So as I said, it's a very difficult waste for them to manage it, because it's quite heavy, and every time when they are harvesting they have to cut it to have a nice harvesting next season. So yeah, so now we are using that waste, and then converting it into fiber, and then it will be in our product as a main raw material. And also during the process, when we are extracting the fiber, there will be a lot of waste. So now our idea is to convert it into compost. So we are giving back to the farmers, as a compost, all the waste that will be generated through it. So it's like a circular economy product kind of. So yeah, this is what we have been doing right now. And yeah, I think there are a lot of aspects to the project, and oftentimes it's hard for me to describe it exactly like in one like um yeah like what it touches. But as I said, like there is woman empowerment, there's environmental aspect to it, and there is development aspect to it, and yeah, so a lot of things.
Yeah, look, just to listen to you describe it, I mean, it's such a powerful and empowering idea. And yeah, you touched on it there. There's yeah, the phrase circular economy gets thrown around a lot these days, but really, yeah, it's a very nice example of a concept which is circular. You have a social enterprise model that you operate to, which, and a product to sell, which means there's some profit which is reinvested in the cause. You're employing local people. You're female led and female operated. You're presumably creating a line of revenue with and a new product line potentially for local farmers and agriculture. So there's a really, yeah, just a really nice cyclical thing happening there. And look, it sounds wonderful, but I know, Dipisha, that behind the scenes, and to make something like this happen, it's never perfect, and it's never as beautiful as it
Yeah.
might look from the outside. So I think sometimes what people might be interested to hear are like, how the hell did you get from where you were to this project? I mean, did you know anything about using banana fibers? Were you in contact with local women who were living in kind of impoverished conditions, or came from those backgrounds? Do you know any? I mean, are you involved in agriculture, or is this all stuff you had to learn and or pull in people to support you? How did you make this happen, and what were some of the challenges you faced so far?
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's a very big question. So, as I said, like, I'm not the only one who's working on the project. There is a whole team behind me, or together with me, who is working on it, like from field coordination to engineers to activists. So yeah, like the like we knew about this banana fiber. Like we already knew that something like this is possible with the banana fiber. So that's where the possibility of the project came in. And in Nepal, there is a huge production of banana. So we all knew that whoever is living in Nepal. And then like my co-coordinator, who is like managing the project together with me, is actually a fiber engineer from France. So he has a lot of experience of working with fibers, and he is actually the one who developed the whole recipe of the fiber and pad. So yeah, that's um, a huge credit goes to him. And then in the field, to build the connection and the bond together with the farmers, our field coordinator, like Hosnain, who is who is also from the same region and speaks the same language as them, has been a huge support to the team. And yeah, and to develop the concept of the compost. Like we have an engineer from Japan who is now studying in Germany. So a lot of people like them who are supporting the project, like getting us where we are right now. So and also I said that my journey is of like more than 8 years of working in the community. So I have always been a community person. So I myself come from a very remote place in Nepal, from a mountain region. So I have known the struggle. And yeah, I come from a community where the discrimination on the basis of menstruation is quite high. So I always knew what is going inside of it. And but also going to the project side, a lot of time meeting and talking with the woman and getting what the situation really is has helped me a lot. And like in 2021 and 22, we did a big research about menstrual accessibility and affordability in Nepal together with the situation of menstruation. And we interviewed around 840 women from 14 different districts around Nepal. And it was conducted through in-person interviews. So in throughout the process, I was coordinating it and I was also present there. So talking with like around 800 women gave me a lot of ideas about uh, what is going on and what are the needs. So I think this is I see a lot is missing in the development field right now in Nepal, that oftentimes we design something that might not be needed by the community. So it was, yeah, I always wanted to do this survey where we are asking them what kind of pad they would like to have, or are they needing it? Are they able to afford it? So it has been an eye-opening journey. So for 6 months, I traveled across Nepal to do that research together with my colleague from Poland. Yeah, his name is Vukas, and yeah, I think it was one of the most to say impactful thing that we have done through our research. And oftentimes when we go to internet and search about the menstrual situation in Nepal, then we don't find really reliable data. So now we are like in the process of publishing it. So once we have it published in a journal, then it will be shared with all the organization working in that sector in Nepal, so that they will have something to back up, like how to say, like something that they can have as a basis for the information or facts. So that's the thing. And regarding challenges, we have had a lot, especially because of the type of country we belong to and where we are working right now. Like, yeah, Nepal is one of the poorly developed countries, so there are a lot of challenges and a lot of, yeah, a lot of corruption. I don't know if I should say that, but yeah, it is the reality. And oftentimes, being a woman is quite hard, because of the hierarchy in the system. So yeah, we the biggest challenge we have had was the COVID-19, I think, because in Nepal the market is pretty small, and we found a lot of suppliers for raw materials that are needed beside banana fiber, but all of them had to close out because of COVID-19 situation, and our team members were not able to move. So it made it very hard for us to travel around and get data or talk with people to actually start the yeah, prototyping. So all of this thing, yeah, I think it was a very difficult time. And another challenging thing that we recently had was to register Sparsa. So the concept of social enterprise is very new in Nepal. So a lot of governmental authorities are not known what it means, um, and like, so the usual process is it takes around like 3 days for a Sparsa as a non-profit company to be registered in the industry, to get the license to say that, yeah, as a Sparsa we can have our factory and produce it. But like in the local government, a lot of people were not well known about that fact, and we had to convince in every level. So I went to the project site, like to talk with the local government and do the process for like a week, and I had to stay there like for more than 20 days. So to convince them, and it didn't work. It didn't work at all. So we had to come back to the capital city where I am living right now, and try to source out where are the network we have, what kind of people we know, and all of this. And for 2 months, we tried it and we finally have it, fortunately. But it took us a long way to have this license saying that, yes, Sparsa is now officially a social enterprise and can have a factory and can produce pads. So yeah, we got it 2 weeks ago. So it has been one of the most challenging thing I went through. And yeah, it was not easy to go through government officials, which are mainly like men, and to know, like, to know that what they really think about the project. Like, yeah, some even doubted us, saying that, yeah, maybe you are trying to promote some foreign religion in Nepal. That's why you are trying to get this, all this kind of thing. So it was very, yeah, tiring and yeah, very time consuming experience we had. So it's not easy, as you said, like, yeah, like, and I think often people see what we have achieved, but not what we have went through. So yeah, and now it's a huge deal for us to have this, because now all the young organization will be founding afterwards can come to us and can have us as an example, and we can teach them how we did it. And yeah, I think it is quite a uh, good thing that we did, like not only for us, but for other young entrepreneurs in the region.
Yeah, there's so many important touch points there and what you've just kind of explained. I'm trying to think where to begin with them, but I think what you said about people seeing the success and not what you've been through to achieve whatever success you've had, I think is an important point to make. And it's clear even from our short conversation that yeah, there's been a lot that you've had to go through, kind of personally, and I'm sure emotionally, to get to the point that you're at now, and there will be more, no doubt, to move forward with it. But well done for persevering and getting to the point that you have. And it sounds like recently, reached a bit of a milestone in terms of your manufacturing capabilities. So yeah, congratulations, on that.
Thank you.
And look, I think of all of those points, the one I'd like to just sort of delve a little bit deeper into is this idea of being female led and really tackling an important health and but societal cultural attitude, or certainly working against it, to empower other women and to support women with menstruation and education. I mean, how do you go about doing that? Just in this last example you've given about having to go to government institutions for recognition of social enterprise status and to register your entity, and how do you meet that challenge as a woman in the culture in which you're operating? I mean, a number of huge barriers there for you.
Yeah, I think a big thanks goes to how I was brought up by my parents, like because at home I had very different environment than compared to the community where I was brought up. So my father like always taught me to be independent, that despite of you being a woman, you have all the rights in the world. You have all the possibilities to study, to get education, to get independent. And it was not the reality that I saw outside. So it was quite conflicting. And I think I got a lot of power from my parents, like to have that sort of upbringing, and also to see my elder sister who was like paving her own journey as an independent woman in the society. And for my family, a big family, we are the only woman like where who are educated in this level. So I think my parents, and also NEDZ, like the organization that empowered me, like um, yeah, they deserve a lot of appreciation for that. And I think it's often not easy for me, as I said, like I need to have a lot of courage in me to even approach governmental officials of all the traumas that I had in the past dealing with them. But then I think it helps a lot to have supportive colleagues, like people around me who are understanding what it is, what it means for me to go there and to talk with them, and to have this support system, and where they are comforting me, and they are like saying words like, yeah, we are there for you. It means a lot. And yeah, and I think it's just the nature I have as well, that I am very courageous. I feel like that no matter how much difficult situation it is, I always find courage to tackle it. So I think it sometimes comes from within, and also a lot of it is because of the people I have around me, and especially my mentor Yuta. Like she has been also very supportive, and sees herself a very brave woman. And talking with her always makes me very like feel very powerful and feel like yeah I can fight this world kind of. And yeah, yeah, as I said, it's not easy for me often when I'm going there and talking there, and after coming back, I have some breakdown, mental breakdown. But it helps a lot to have people who understand me and who are there for me. And yeah, and also organization like social sector that makes us realize that we are on the right path. You know, it means a lot. Think like, yeah, to get appreciated, to have awards, to have support, and to make us realize that yes, we are doing something great and we should continue doing it. So it's yeah, I think it has to do a lot with the support system I have right now from uh, internally and externally from organization like yours.
Yeah, look. So what I'm hearing there are really people are what is key to you getting where you've got to is big thanks to mum and dad and the way you were raised. Big thanks to the people in your team and the people that are there to support you through the difficult stuff. So and I think that's a really important message for anyone really at any stage, but particularly people who are at an early stage and thinking about tackling an issue that's important to them that they see in their community. So yeah, really important and powerful message to communicate. So to kind of draw things to a close, Dipisha, what is next for you? What is next for Project Sparsa? Where are you going from here? What's the plan?
Yeah, so like from this week, we are starting the construction of the fiber factory. So yeah, it's a big milestone for us with all the hurdles we have been through in the past. And yeah, I think yeah, the next big thing for me would be to see the factory finally operating and producing biodegradable pads. And also in hand, like I will be continuing to educate more people on menstrual hygiene and bringing more awareness, and uh, yeah, supporting more women to be empowered in certain ways. So yeah, I will be with Sparsa. I That's what I see right now. And me being a chairwoman, I think I have a big responsibility of taking it forward. So that will be my goal for this year, or even the next year. So this is the main thing I will be working on.
Awesome. Well, look, we're wishing you all the best of luck with that, and we're hoping to be speaking with you again in the not so distant future to see how you're doing. And yeah, look, at Social Shifters, we're all delighted to be supporting you and the project. So yeah, look, I guess one final thing it would be great to get from you is it's your top tip or a piece of advice. I think this conversation has had lots and lots of interesting and inspiring examples and ways to overcome difficulties and challenges. But we do like to sometimes ask if you could go back a year or two and speak with your former self, what advice might you give?
Yeah, nice question. I think if I would like to go back and give a message or like tips to my former self, it would be that don't be afraid to ask for help or have courage to seek out help. Of course, there are a lot of people, especially in the government or something, like who would maybe not be, yeah, as supportive as you would expect, but you would be surprised to see how many people will extend their hands and support you at the end. So yeah, have more courage to ask for help, I would say. And to another would be to, yeah, never be afraid to follow your heart, because I followed my heart, and now yeah, it has led me to yeah, be where I am with Sparsa. So yeah, for a long time I was trying to be a medical student, like all of this, and then fortunately I figured out what I want to do within my with my heart, yeah, what I want to do in life and what I really feel passionate about. And fortunately, it landed me to Sparsa. So I think, yeah, we need to find out what we really feel passionate about and follow our heart. So yeah, I think these things would be my tips.
Oh, what excellent advice, and what a nice way to leave our conversation today. So, Dipisha, well done again. Thank you so much for joining me on the Social Shifters podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation as much as I have. And yeah, stay in touch and let us know how you're going.
Yeah, thanks a lot, David, for the opportunity and for the award. It has been a huge, yeah, huge deal for us at this stage of time where we are at with the Sparsa. And yeah, thanks a lot for what you do for young people like us. And yeah, it means a lot. And it was really nice to have this conversation. And yeah, thanks a lot again for your time.
If you want to learn more about Social Shifters and how we can help you to impact the social or environmental issues that matter to you most, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us on Instagram and Spotify.